guys, I got some updates on some dates that I have available or don't have available. Here's what we're looking at for the rest of 2025. All Saturdays are now gone. No more left. The most popular day, everybody wants them, but they're gone. There's a few dates left in October. Most of November is still open, and most of December is still open. But if you want to head over to brandonsontag.com, get your request in there as soon as possible before the rest of the year is filled, and then we will start working on 2026 around November.
What's up, everybody? So, this is a new project I'm working on. I'm going to call it a tattoo podcast. However, technically, we're not going to be talking about how to tattoo or teaching anybody anything or anything like that. It's really just you coming along on the conversation in the session, getting to watch the tattoo being done the whole time, and just hearing the conversation of me and the client. This particular client is who actually gave me the idea for the podcast, but his name's Eric Doyle, and he has a really crazy story. He was in prison for a while, got a lot of tattoos in prison, but he has a crazy story about how he got locked up, selling drugs while he was in there and back again. It's a wild story, but check it out. Here's Eric Doyle.
The last time this arm was tattooed was probably when you did it before I went to prison, bro. When you shot my son's feet prints in my hand.
Oh, that was.
You remember that? When you were there? Yeah.
Well, hey, let's start with that. So, you want to tell us how long were you in prison?
6 years.
So
I went in with 5 and caught another year while I was down. So I went in with the original 5 on the robberies, on the 2 different robberies, and then was doing good, was doing great, and I got my level dropped, got my job outside the fence, and then I got in trouble again there, and ended up getting another year for that. I don't feel bad today.
It's not too terrible. Do you want to run through the story of how you got in trouble in the first place?
So I struggled with drugs my whole life, man, pretty much. When I was young, when I started, the pill mills were real big back then. Everybody was going to Florida, to the doctors in Florida and getting pills and bringing them back. That was the big thing then. So when I was younger, dude, you could get pills probably easier than you could get weed. That's how the shit was then. It was just everywhere. So then they started cracking down on that, and the heroin started running rampant. So for years, I was on pills, switched to the heroin. I was on that for a few years, and then towards the end, I started doing subs, and I started doing meth to get away from the heroin, which worked, but I lost my mind on that meth, man. I just went crazy. That shit's the devil, dude. It just desensitizes you to everything, man. So then towards the end, it was probably my last 2 years that I was out, I was on meth, but when all this happened, I had been on a 3-week bender of eating downers, eating Klonopin and Xanax and shit. And if you ain't never done that, then you probably wouldn't understand, but most of the people I talk to that have done Xanax, I don't know what it is about that drug, man, but that shit makes you want to steal. I don't know what it is. You could have a pocket full of money and you'd be wanting to steal something, and it'll be something stupid like flower pots out in front of Walmart or something, something dumb, dude. So I had been on a 3-week bender of eating downers, man, and I had been robbing everybody, dude. Anybody and everybody. But for my first one, the first robbery that I got charged with was in Licking County. And I really, on that one, it wasn't planned or anything, man. I went to my dude's house, I was hustling, and I went to go get some dope from him. And he was all drunk and shit, and he had some guy there earlier. Before I even tell this story, though, before I even get into it, just know that nobody took his shit, and he just misplaced it from himself this whole time. So I caught this charge for nothing.
Oh, man. Okay.
Before I even get into this. So he was drunk, misplaced his shit the whole time. So I go to get his shit. There's like 3 or 4 people. Go to get my shit. There's like 3 or 4 people in the house. And he's all drunk, pissed off, and he's fucking searching everybody, you know what I'm saying? He's like, nobody's leaving until I get my shit. So he's like patting people down and shit. So I would hang around for a little bit, trying to get some shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm hoping he's gonna find it or whatever, and I can get it. Well, he doesn't. So I'm like, man, I'm about to get up out of here, dude. He's like, I hate to do it, dude, but I gotta pat you down. I'm like, you're good. You know what I'm saying? I let him pat me down. He feels my pistol in my front pocket and shit. I always kept a gun on me. And he's like, what's that? So I told him, he's like, let me use it. I'm like, nah, man, I ain't doing that. You know? I'm like, I don't go anywhere without my gun. For real. The mind state I was in at that point in time, like, it was bad, dude. Like, I didn't take a shit without my pistol. You know what I'm saying? It went with me everywhere. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that, dude. So we kind of are going back and forth or whatever. I'm like, I'll ride over there with you, though, and make sure it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So we jump in the truck and we cruise over there. The whole time he's trying to get my gun from me. I'm like, not trying to do it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want the dude to go in here and shoot him and fucking, you know what I'm saying, me be liable. I knew if I had the gun, then I would be kind of in control. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing super crazy would happen. So we get to the house and we're out front. We jump out of the truck. We're kind of going back and forth. I'm like, fuck it, dude. I rack one out of the head and I give it to him. You know what I'm saying? We go in the house. It's like an open floor plan. Like, when you walk in the front door, it's like the kitchen over here and the living room here, and it's open. And there's a hallway going to the back bedroom and shit, or the back bedrooms where the bathrooms are. So when we walk in the door, the dude's walking from the living room into the kitchen. So he's like right there. So he fucking goes in, he fucking pistol whips him and shit. He's got him down on the floor and shit, and he's like, you know what I'm saying? Where's my shit, motherfucker? And the dude's like crying and screaming, and I'm like, dude, he ain't got your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he had your shit, he was coming off of it. He didn't have it. So I'm trying to talk him out of it, trying to get him out of there or whatever. He ain't really listening to me, so the dude's wife comes out of the back bedroom and shit, which was super fucked up. I felt bad about that. So I'm trying to get him out of there. He won't get out of there. I grabbed some shit off the table. I think there was like some money, his wallet or something. I can't remember what all it was. And I'm trying dangling it like, here, bro. Like, let's just get the fuck out of here. He ain't listening to me. I'm like, whatever. I'll leave. He leaves like 2 minutes later. And we meet back at his house. Whatever. They end up calling the cops. They couldn't figure out who I was. They didn't know me or whatever, but they knew who he was. So he was all over the fucking papers and shit in Newark, and it took them a while to catch him. So they never even knew I was there for that one. The reason I got in trouble for that is my aunt told on me on that one.
Damn. So she knew it went down or something? Like,
yeah, I told her. So like, she was I was running wild at the time, man. I was with my baby mom, but I kind of had a little side chick that I was running around getting high with and doing all the dumb shit I was doing, because my baby mom didn't do nothing, you know. So while I was doing this, my aunt's like she's getting high and shit, and she's running around, but she's like
Oh, so she was using too?
yeah, she was using too. She was buying hella dope off of me. So she's like, why don't you let me go stay with Harley and Reese, and I'll help her with rent while you're not there, and I'll be able to keep an eye on stuff and this and that. And it sounded all good, you know what I'm saying? Well, she moves in. My baby mom's super non-confrontational, you know what I'm saying? She's not like one to argue and fight. And so she moves in and she's bullying them all around, not paying rent, this and that. So I come home. And I'm trying to get her out. She ain't really trying to leave. You know what I'm saying? We end up getting into it, and I kick her out. Well, she calls the cops and tells on me for that. So that's how I got busted for that one. From a spiteful woman that was you know what I'm saying? Like, she really supposed to, I don't know what she's supposed to be to me. She ain't supposed to be doing that, though. Granted, I was wrong and I was out doing what I was doing, but
Yeah, out of spite too. That's wild.
Yeah, you know, like, it was fucked up. So that was the first one. So I didn't get indicted for that one until I was already in the Franklin County, being held in Franklin County for 3 months. They put that all together. You know what I'm saying? They indict me on that one. So that was November 21st, 2017 is when that first one happened. So the other robbery that I got charged with was November 28th, 2017. So this is the crazy one, dude. This is the one where, like, I had been getting dope off this dude off and on for, I couldn't tell you, it'd been years, you know what I'm saying? But he sold me some shitty ass dope or whatever a couple times, and he had made it right. Well, I got some dope off of him, and it wasn't all that or this and that, and he was pretty much burnt me for like a 1/4 ounce.
And by dope, what are you
Meth,
referring to?
ice.
Meth. All right.
So I'm blowing him up or whatever. He's blocking me. He ain't really trying to make it right. So, like, I had it in my head. I'm like, fuck it, I'm laying him down. You know what I'm saying? So this whole time, my brother's supposed to go with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm planning this all out. That's my brother's thing. He's into that. He's always robbing some shit. That's what he does. You know what I'm saying? He can go into a room and take control of a situation pretty quick and easy for him. So he ends up stealing a car like 3 days before this. Takes the Newark police on a high-speed chase or whatever. He gets caught. He's in the county jail. So I end up taking my dude's brother with me. And this is how fucked up I was, bro. I told you I'd been eating downers for like 3 weeks. On the way up there, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. We're driving up to Columbus to rob him and shit. We're gonna kick his door in bright and early, hoping he's still asleep. I'm fucking passed out on the way there. I fall asleep because I've been up for so long, you know what I'm saying? I wake up and we're pulling into the driveway or whatever. He's got a can of mace or whatever. We're just gonna go in, tie him up, you know what I'm saying? Get in, get out. That's the game plan. So we pull up, get all ready or whatever. He always kept a Glock. He kept a 357 SIG Glock, but he never kept one in the head. And he had a grow up. He lived in a 1-bedroom, it was I don't want to say it was a duplex. It was an old house, but it was divided up into like 3 different apartments.
Okay. Triplex.
Yeah. So he's on the top, in an apartment on the top. So it's a little 1-bedroom apartment. He's got a grow op in his back bedroom, so he sleeps on the front couch. And his door had been kicked in before. You know what I'm saying? So I knew I could get in and get out or wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I knew I could kick his door and rush him and get to him before he could rack one and get one off on me was the game plan, which I did do. But he ended up getting a different gun. He got a revolver, and it just happened to be right on the stand right beside him when all this shit happened. So we pull up, get all ready, we go up the stairs and shit, and we're outside of his front door. I kick his door in and I rush him, dude. He's on the couch. And I can remember the look on his face when I busted through the door, dude. It was fucked up, for real. So he's on the couch or whatever, so I kick the door, I rush him, I grab him, you know what I'm saying? We're tussling or whatever. I get him pinned down into the couch and shit. And I'm like, stop moving, motherfucker. And he's like struggling with me a little bit. So I'm looking around. I'm like, I look back to see where my dude's at. He's supposed to be helping me get him together and shit. He's fucking like off in La La Land. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Get over here. So when I'm looking back at him, he like reaches back and he kicks me in the chest, dude. He kicks me up off of him. When he kicked me, I fell back and I caught myself on one hand. When I pushed back up, he had his gun in his hand, dude. He was shooting. He shot me. He shot me once, and it was probably from, I might have been to the doorway, you know what I'm saying, when he did it. By the time I fell and pushed myself back up and he shot me. So when he shoots me, my dude starts masoning.
Where did he shoot you at?
He shot me in the chest. He grazed me through the chest, right here. It was bad too. So he gets one off on me and my dude's masoning, like as he's going for the gun and he shoots, he's masoning him. So when he maces him, he starts screaming and he's shooting the gun. He kind of turns it on him. He shoots 3 more times. So on the 3rd shot, everything's like in slow-mo at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like still kind of in shock.
I bet.
So on the third shot, my dude's got his hands up and he's kind of in the doorway right by the front door. And on the third shot, I seen the blood squirt out of the back of his hand. He shot him through the hand and he shrieked loud as fuck, like he screamed super loud and ran out the front door. And when he ran out the front door, I kind of snapped back too, like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like zoned out when it happened. So I'm like, oh shit. I take off running through the back bedroom, dude. And he shoots his last shot at me through the back bedroom. So I jump out the window, and out the window there's like a little screened-in porch for the people downstairs that was living downstairs. I jump on, hang off the gutter, jump down. I jump in the passenger seat, and we're getting ready to take off. Dude, he goes to hit the shifter, and this fucking shifter went up into his hand. He starts screaming and shit. It was the hand he got shot in. It was fucked up. It was nasty, dude.
So so just left a big hole in his hand?
Dude, it was bad. Dude had a fucking, you know what the judge is?
Yeah,
That's what he shot us with.
Oh.
I don't even tell a lot of people that because usually when I say that, people think I'm bullshitting, but I'm not, dude. That's the gun he had. That's what he shot us with too. He shot us with the,
It's like shotgun rounds, right?
yeah, but it was a slug round. It wasn't buckshot. So, he fucking jumps in the driver's seat. He goes to hit the shifter, and when his hand hits it, he starts screaming. I'm like, get out, let me drive. So he fucking gets out, runs around. I jump over the center. He jumps in, I hit it, and we're down the alley. We're taking off, bro. I'm flying. I'm not stopping for stoplights, nothing. You know what I'm saying? We're getting the fuck out of Dodge. So while I'm driving, he's like, he's trying to get in his pockets and shit. He gets his phone. He's like, call 911, call 911. And at the time, I didn't know. I thought he only got shot in the hand. I'm like, dude. I'm like, man, he hit me too. I'm like, you need to wrap it up. I'm like, you know, if we call 911, we ain't going home, right? And he's like, no. He's like, no, he hit me again. He hit me again. And he lifts his shirt up, and there's blood squirting out of his stomach like this.
Man.
Dude, when he did that, I was like, at that point in time, I really thought, like, I was like, it's over, dude. I really thought, you know what I'm saying? I thought he was done. I thought my life was over at that point in time. So he hands me his phone. It's an Android. And I'm flying down this road. You know what I'm saying? I can't get into his phone. I'm like, unlock it for me so I can call 911. He ends up unlocking it and just dialing it himself. So he's trying to explain to him where we're at, and we're flying down the road. So we're coming up on this little apartment complex. So I tell him what the names of the roads are, and I just pull into the entrance of the apartment complex. And I tell him or whatever. He hangs the phone up, and he opens the door, and he rolls out of the car and shit, and he's just laying on the ground. So I open the door, and I run around, and I'm sitting there with him. I really thought he was going to die, dude. So at this point, you can start to hear, like, sirens and shit coming. So we're in the entrance to this apartment, and you can see, like, all the way around. You can see most of the way the roads and shit, and you can hear the ambulances coming and shit. So I sat there with him and just talked to him I don't even remember what I was saying to him or what we were talking about, bro, for real. And,
were you high at this point?
yeah,
like,
I
still
was
high?
whacked out of my fucking gourd, for real. So I can see down the road probably at least, 100 yards, probably about a football field long. I can see the ambulance turning the corner and starting to come. So I'm like, I gotta go, bro. I fucking leave him there and I take off running. So I kind of dip through the apartment complexes and I come out to the main road and I cross the street and there's another little, like the end of the apartments, and there's a lady walking her dog and shit. Like I'm looking around, I'm trying to get the fuck out of here. And this fence is tall as fuck, bro. It's probably like at least 20 foot tall, and I didn't even, I didn't know how to get the fuck out of where I was at. So there's some lady walking her dog. I'm like, can you help me get out of here? She was like, is that for you? And she was talking about all the sirens and shit. And I was like, yeah. She said, there's a hole in the fence right there. I was so flustered and everything going on, I didn't see it. So I'm like, shit, I took off running through, hit the hole in the fence. There's like this little wooded area, and there's like a stream probably about, I don't know, it's probably 20, 30 foot long. And it's winter time, bro. It's cold as fuck. I got a book bag on and shit, so I put my book bag up over my head and I jump in the water. I'm going across the water and shit. So I get to the other side, and the stream had like washed the root of this tree out. It was a big ass tree, bro. So I like get up under there, and I'm hiding under there, and I can see the road that I was just on, like through the woods and shit. I can watch the cop cars flying by and shit. So I'm sitting up under this stump. I'm fucking trying to get rid of all my shit. Like, I get rid of my gun, all the little drugs or whatever I had on me at the time, and I start just calling motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Like, I called my dad, and I'm like, Dad, I fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really thought it was over then. I'm telling him everything that happened and shit, and he's like, he's just flabbergasted, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you even say to that, you know?
Yeah, how do you react?
Yeah, he's like, I don't even remember what he was telling me or what he was saying to me. Honestly, I just remember calling him, and then I hang up with him, and I call my baby mom. I'm like, what are you doing? She said, I just dropped Boog off at the babysitter. I'm going to work. I said, jump on the highway right now and come get me. She's like, at this time, like, me and her aren't, like, we're still talking and shit, but we're not on the greatest terms because I'm not acting right. You know what I'm saying? I got a whole side bitch. I'm not working. I'm not doing what I should be doing, you know what I'm saying? I'm out running the streets, getting high and shit, but she still loved me, you know what I'm saying? And she still was like trying to make it work, and I think she was just hoping I was gonna come home and act right, and I just wasn't. So I tell her what happened. I'm like, no, I'm like, I just got shot. I said, Colton just got shot. I think he's dead. I'm like, get on the highway now and come get me. She's like, all right. I said, I'm gonna turn my phone off. I said, I'm gonna turn it back on in a half hour and I'll send you my location. Just jump on the highway and start heading this way. So she did that. So I turn it off and I'm back there panicking, trying to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do. So I'm sitting there or whatever. I wait this little shit, wait for like a half hour, you know what I'm saying? I turn my phone back on. I send her my location. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna start making my way up to the street. So I was in these little, it was crazy too. It's from where it was like back by Bexley area. It's like super hood, and then it gets like to these super nice houses. I don't know how it happened or whatever. So when I jumped the fence and went through the stream and shit, so when I come up on the other side, it's in this like big ass gated community, bro. Like these big ass houses. So I start running up this lawn or whatever. It's big as fuck. I can see the house. It's kind of small. I get up to it and I'm sitting on the back side of the house. This is like these people's pool house or like their guest house or whatever. So there's some guy out there fucking out by the pool. He was cleaning out the pool or something. I can't remember exactly what he was doing. So, but I see him out there. I'm hiding around the back of the house. I'm like, fuck it, dude. I'm just going to go. You know what I'm saying? I take off jogging beside him. I just wave at him. He was like, what the fuck? You know, I'm inside his gated house. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a gated community. I run past him and I wave, and he was like, he like looked at me all weird, but he like waved back at me, you know? So I run up to the house, and it's this long ass driveway, and it's gated in. So there was like this big green electrical box. You know how they sit like this? They'll sit like this high, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly what you're talking about.
So there's an electrical box, and then in between there's probably, I don't know, 2-3 feet, and there's a big ass brick thing that's connected to their metal gate to their front driveway or whatever. So I'm sitting in between them, ducked down, and I can see the cops go by and shit. So I had sent my baby mom my location. So I see her go by. I'm like, hey, go up the street. We're on the phone. I'm like, hey, go up the street. Make sure there's no cops around. Turn around. And when I tell you to stop, I'm going to come out. So she did that. I jump on the electrical box, climb over the fucking little gate or whatever. I jump out, jump in the car, and I kick the seat back. And I'm like, let's go, get the fuck out of here. And I got out, bro. So that was like the first... what do I want to say? That was the... I don't know, man.
Now, when you're going, like, and when you're high on whatever you're high on, when you're going through all this stuff, does that stuff kind of like wear off, like adrenaline kind of neutralize it or anything? Or are you still kind of like...
At this point in time, my adrenaline was pumping so hard that, like, I don't even feel like I don't even know, because it had been so long and I was so whacked out of my mind, but I feel like I was pretty coherent, you know what I'm saying, at this point in time with everything going on, you know? I don't know, it was wild though, dude. So then I jump in, and I had been shot, you know what I'm saying? I'm bleeding out of my chest and shit. So like my baby mom burst into tears, like, I'm like, stop crying. I'm like, go, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, what the fuck are you doing, you know?
Yeah, she's probably like, let's get you to a hospital.
Yeah. So, but I didn't end up going because I fucking didn't want to go to jail. So we drive back to Newark or whatever. And I just get it cleaned up. And I put it was nasty too, dude. My shit was hanging all the way down. So we just get it all cleaned up, and we put like little butterfly things on it, get it cleaned up the best I can. And I'm hiding out in these hotels and doing all this and that for like the next 2 weeks. But I had done burn up my money, and like everybody in the city knew what was going on, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody, I was getting dope. So motherfuckers really weren't trying to fuck with me anymore, you know? I think they thought I was gonna tell, or I don't know what they thought, but. So I'm hiding out in hotels. I had pretty much burned up all the money I had had, and damn near burnt most of the bridges I was, you know, at this point in time. So I'm hiding out in hotels and shit. This is like a few days before Christmas, and I knew I was just waiting on everything to catch up with me, you know? I was just waiting on the indictments to come.
How does that's feeling's got to be
Dude,
wild.
Just
knowing it's coming.
And then at this point in time, my co-defendant that went with me that got shot is in ICU in Columbus, and I'm kind of hearing shit here and there about him. So
They said he's alive.
Yeah, he's alive, but he's in ICU and in a coma. So I'm like, man, you know, I'm waiting that out. That's going through my head. Like, if he dies, it's over. You know what I'm saying? But I pretty much in my head, I had already known, like, I'm fucked when it happens. You know, whenever these indictments do come, I'm done. You know. So it's like 3 days before Christmas, and I'm like, my son's almost 3. And I knew I was about to be gone for a while. I was like, you know, I just went home, and I'm like, I'm gonna just spend as much time with him as I can before this shit happens and I have to go. So I made it through Christmas and New Year's. I got locked up January 8th, 2018. I was out on bond for a felony theft in Licking County.
You had gotten locked up for this stuff?
Yeah, I had been locked up for this like 2 months before, I think. I was locked up for that on a felony theft out of Licking County, and I had been out on bond when all this shit happened.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I had court January 8th, 2018. The day before court, they raided my grandma's house looking for me for all that shit that happened in Columbus. So my grandma and my cousin are texting me like, hey, they're here looking for you. I was at my baby mom's house, and I had court the next day. So I'm like, I pretty much knew it was over, you know? My run was done. So I was kind of just at my baby mom's house. I didn't run or anything. I'm like, I'm figuring they're going to come get me there. I'm out on bond in my baby mom's name. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to run or anything or put anything on her. So I just stayed there. They never came, though. I had court the next morning at 8 or 9 o'clock. I can't remember. So I went into court or whatever. They ended up dropping the charges, the felony theft charges. And when I walked out of the courtroom, they were waiting on me. There was 2 Newark cops waiting on me. They arrested me there and took me to Licking County Jail. And then the next day, the detectives from Franklin County came and picked me up, took me to Franklin. It was shitty, dude.
Now, how does that work out? Do they pretty much take you in and you just have to wait to go to court to know how long you're going to get or anything like that?
So if you don't have money and you catch a charge like that, if you can't bond out, then yeah, you just...
you're like locked up waiting to hear what's going to happen.
You're just locked up waiting. You got to go through the motions, man, depending on what county you're in, how big the county is, you know what I'm saying? You could be sitting in jail for a while fighting your cases, you know?
It's the not knowing. It's got to be that much worse because you just like have no idea how long you're about to get.
I tell everybody that first year I did was the worst year I did because that was one of the worst parts, was sitting in limbo, not knowing. And everything's still fresh, bro. Like, you just lost your freedom, you just lost your woman, you just lost your car, you know, you just lost everything. And you're sitting in limbo, not really knowing what's gonna happen to you. And Franklin County is, I think they said it's like the second worst jail in the country.
Really?
Yeah, it's bad, bro. It's dirty. It's predominantly black. It's, so if you're white and you're not from Columbus, you know what I'm saying? It's not.
Oh, you're the outcast.
Yeah, it's not where you want to do time, bro. It's not.
So what facility is this?
This is Franklin County Jail.
And
So
you're-
they have two facilities though. So it's so big. Franklin County's so big. They got downtown, which is booking for when you first get arrested. That's where you're gonna go. You're gonna go downtown, and unless you have a super high profile case, a Fed case, or a murder, then they ship you out to Jackson Pike, which is like, I don't know. That's mostly where most people go if you go to jail in Columbus and you're not on a super serious case, because it's like a level system. They keep the 1s and 2s downtown, and then everything else, the overflow, pretty much goes to Jackson Pike, which is shitty, dude.
So how long was it that you were in the Franklin County until you got word of like court and everything like that?
So I got locked up in January 8th, 2018, for the second robbery I did, the one in Columbus that I just explained. And then 3 months after I'm sitting in Franklin County Jail, I get my indictments for the robbery in Licking County. So then I'm like, dude, that hurt. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? When I got that, I was like, dude, I just felt like I was never going home. You know? I was like, it was a horrible feeling, bro. It was super shitty. So I'm sitting in there, and honestly, that case that was in Licking County, I probably could have beat. They really didn't have shit on me for real, but I knew I was already going on my Franklin County. They had me dead to rights. They had my DNA at the scene, and everybody told on me. You know what I'm saying? So I knew I was going already. So my lawyer in Franklin County told me, he said, you need to go to Licking County. You need to get it figured out. You need to handle that case first, because they're not going to run it concurrent with whatever you get sentenced with here. So I don't know if you know what concurrent means. So if you get, when they say run concurrent, it means like if you get sentenced, say, it pretty much means that your sentence running at the same time. So I got sentenced to 3 years in Licking County and 5 years in Franklin County. So, and they ran it concurrent. So that means both of my sentences are running at the same time.
Okay, that makes sense.
So my 3 years in Franklin or Licking County is running at the same time my 5 years is running in Franklin County. That's what concurrent means.
That makes it kind of nice.
Yeah. So my lawyer's telling me, he's like, he said, Licking County's not going to run it concurrent with us, but they're more inclined to do it here, so you need to go get that handled first. So knowing that, I went there and just pled out. They offered me 4 years. They offered me 4 years on the. I think they charged me with aggravated burglary. They were both armed home invasions. One county charged me with aggravated burglary. The other one charged me with aggravated robbery. But they were pretty much both the same instance.
Now, when you go to court for this, do you have to see like the dude that you robbed and everything? Like, you see them in court or anything like that?
No, he never came to court or anything. They did when I was in Franklin County. One time, it's so big and they're so fucked up there that you're supposed to be separated from your co-defendants. You're never supposed to come in contact with them before you come to court. But it's so fucked up and out of whack up there, they end up throwing us in a holding cell together. And I knew he had told on me by this time.
And this is the guy that you took with you?
This is the guy I took with me. This is actually a really good friend of mine's little brother.
So after he finally got out of a coma and out of a hospital and everything, he's sitting in jail with you?
No, well, he was in the med tank. He was in the med tank in the workhouse, so he wasn't like in my pod. But yeah, he was in jail too. He ended up getting a year in the workhouse, and he got like a CBCF program, like a 6-month program. I heard he's out doing good now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, good for him. So they end up throwing us in the same holding cell together, bro. And by this time, I knew he told on me, but I just didn't have the heart to, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't do it, bro.
Yeah, you're human.
Most people would have probably beat his ass. I just couldn't do it, bro.
I'm sure there's a part of you that feels guilty. It's like, man, I took you along on this.
I did feel guilty about it. I did. I felt super guilty about it. And to be honest, bro, I feel like if I would have did that, it would have made my situation worse.
Yeah,
I feel
for
like he
sure.
would have been in court, and it would have made my situation worse, for real.
Did you guys have any type of conversation or anything in that moment?
Yeah, a little bit. We talked a little bit. He showed me his stomach and shit. He was fucked up, bro. He was super fucked up. They cut him from like here to here. It was bad. But the end of the guard ends up coming or whatever and walking by, and he ends up telling him like, hey, this is my co-defendant, we ain't supposed to be in here together or whatever. They end up moving him. So
He act any type of like weird way?
I think he was a little scared. I think he wanted to know. He was scared. I think he thought I was gonna. He knew he told on me. You know.
Yeah.
He knew what should have happened to him in that cell. You know, what should have happened. I just didn't have the heart to do it to him, bro. I felt bad for him, honestly, dude. I really did.
That's a human reaction, man. That's wild. I mean, and he like kind of shows your heart, you know, because I'm sure anybody else would have not been good.
Yeah.
So how long did you sit in there before you actually got court?
Well, so the first time I went to court, my real court date, they offered me 8 years, and I'm like,
8 years?
yeah, I turned it down. I'm like, I'm not taking 8 years. I don't have anything on my record. You know what I'm saying? I've never been in trouble
8
before.
years?
Yeah. So they threw 8 years at me the first time. I'm like, I'm not taking that. I went to court again. They threw 8 at me again. I'm like, I'm not taking that. I go again. By this time, I had been sentenced to the 3 years in Licking County. So I go again. They're like, they're trying to get me to take this open plea. I turn it down this time. They want me to take an open plea for 5 to 9.
What's
I turn
an
them
open
down.
plea?
An open plea. So if you take an open plea for 5 to 9, what you're saying is like you're pretty much accepting a plea deal, and it's kind of an open end on their end. So they can sentence me from anywhere from 5 to 9 years.
Ugh.
So I turned that down the first time. A couple months later, I go to court again. My lawyer comes up to talk to me. He said, look, man, I can't really tell you this, but I just went in and I talked to the judge and the prosecutor, and they said, if you take this open plea for 5 to 9, they're going to sentence you to 7, and they're going to run it concurrent with the 3 that you're already sentenced to. So at this time, I had almost had a year down in county. I had got my Licking County shit out of the way, and I was just tired of sitting in the county jail, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's a 7-day menu. It sucks, bro. It's if you got to do time, it's probably the worst time you can do. There's no type of, it's not comfortable at all, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have a TV, you don't really get no extra food. Like, the food that you do get sucks. It's ghetto, it's dirty, it sucks. So I was ready to just get out of there and get to prison.
That's a wild thing.
Start doing my time, though. You know what I'm saying? Well, when you get to prison, bro, you can get, the food's cheaper, it's better. You can get a TV, you can get fucking comfortable clothes, you know what I'm saying? You can it's a little bit more comfortable once you get to the...
Yeah, because it's there for the long haul.
Yeah.
It's not like a transitionary period. That makes sense.
So it's more comfortable, for real. So at that point in time, I was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to get out of the fucking county jail and just get shit going. So I'm like, fuck it, dude. I take the open plea. I'm like, tell him I'll do it. So my lawyer goes back, talks to him or whatever. He comes back out and talks to me, and he's like, you should do this pre-sentence investigation. What that is like the judge pretty much has some people that they come and interview you, and you talk to them and just kind of explain your situation a little bit, like who you are, where you come from type deal. And I just told him, I'm like, look at my record. Like, I've never been in trouble before. I got strung out, and I made some really bad decisions, you know? But if you look at my record, I don't have anything on it. Like, I've worked hard my whole life, you know? Like, things spiraled out of control at the end there. But I think she liked me, man. She was super cool with me. I don't know, but she must have put in the good word for the judge, because when I went for sentencing, she gave me the minimum, man. She sentenced me to 5 years, and she ran it concurrent with the 3 that I was already sentenced to. So when I was doing my PSI, my pre-sentence investigation, I was telling the lady, like, I just want to get this done and over with, and I want to get back home to my family. And I was telling her about my son and shit. And the judge, when she was sentencing me, she mentioned something about it. She said, I really hope that you get your life together and that you come home and you be the dad that Reese deserves you to, that he deserves, or something, or that she deserves. I remember she said she, but she definitely said my kid's name by name. So she must have put in a good word for me, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, and I could tell, like, when she was sentencing me, I don't know, when she was looking at me, I just felt like she was going to show me love. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it was. I could just feel it, though. So in my head, I had already told myself I'm going for 7 years. So when I'm in there getting sentenced, and she said 5 and ran it concurrent with it, 3 I already had. By then, I'm already almost a year down. I'm like, shit, that's the bus up. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. You know? Let's knock this little shit out.
It's crazy to have a good feeling when getting sentenced to that long in prison. Like,
Yeah.
5 years of my life is just, I'm going to be
Dude,
in this
I got
cell.
back to the pod. You would have thought that they was letting me go that day. I was so happy, bro. I'm running around like, I only got 5. I only got 5.
That's wild.
Yeah, I was happy as fuck, man.
All right, so you get sentenced your 5 years and concurrent with the 3 you already have. So now where are you getting, they shipping you off to somewhere to do your time?
Whenever you get sentenced in Ohio, anybody that goes to do time in Ohio, you go to CRC. It's what do I want to say? It's the Central, what is it? What's it called? CRC is what it's called. Corrections Reception Center. That's what it stands for. So anybody that's sentenced to any time in Ohio, you go to CRC before they send you to your parent institution. So, and CRC is a level 3 facility, so it's 2-man cells, and you're locked down the whole time. So when you go there, pretty much what they're doing is they're trying to figure out where they're going to send you, because the whole Ohio system is on a level system. So what they do is they go off your charges, your age, if you have any gang affiliation, all that shit. They kind of figure that all in, and then they figure out where they're going to send you. So I did like a month at CRC, and then they sent me to Noble, where I did the next almost 3 years. I did 19, 20, and most of 21. I got locked up, I want to say it was September of 21 at Noble. I got thrown in the hole. I did 2 months in the hole there. They raised my security and rode me to Ross.
So what's it, once you get to Noble, Noble's your first place you're going, right?
Yeah.
What's Noble like your first day? Like, explain the first day that showing up to Noble.
So your first day, just about any institution you go to, they always have like a orientation dorm or a ride-in row. If you're in a level 1s and 2s, it's an open dorm, so they usually call it a ride-in row. Whenever you ride in, you'll go to this little, you know what I'm saying? They got like not a whole dorm, but usually about 2 streets where they send all the new guys in until they send you to your dorm or whatever. So you get in, and it's fucking, it's far, dude. And them boxes that you got are heavier than fuck. So you come in, you go to R&D, they give you your box, your little clothes or whatever. And you'll come in, like I came in with, I think, like 10, 15 people or whatever. And you got to carry your fucking box to your dorm. This shit is not, it's far, bro. It's like probably almost a football field down. And these boxes are heavy as fuck.
And it's just got your clothes, everything that you're going to basically be living with?
Yeah, your hygiene, your clothes, whatever you come with, you know. Most of your state shit, like your food, if you're riding in with any food, you know, all that shit. You don't get your TV and any like big shit that you have, you'll get a title for, and you'll have to go pick that up at the package office after like a week or whatever. They'll have to title it for you. So yeah, you just keep all your belongings in it. But this motherfucker's heavier than fuck, bro. So while you're carrying your box, everybody's out on the compound and shit. They like to fuck with you. So while you're carrying your box, everyone's screaming at you and shit from the compound. Don't drop that box. Don't drop that box. Or they'll scream, what do they scream? There's going to be blood on my knife or shit on my dick. Don't scream shit like that the whole time you're walking in. Really just fucking with you because it's really not like that there.
That's the type of stuff you see on TV, though.
Yeah.
Where everyone's screaming at you.
Yeah, it's like that for real. But most people are just fucking with you for real. I will say though, when I got to Jackson Pike, when I got to the workhouse, they took me up to the second floor though. And when you walk in, you got your little tote or whatever, and your blankets and shit. So they got us lined up along the front wall here. And you can see in 2 West 2 was the pod. Straight across. So you can see them out the windows. There's hella dudes in the windows, like looking at us like, we want him, you know what I'm saying? Like, put him in here with us. They're fucking with us and shit. Everybody's throwing up gang signs and all this and that. I'm like, fuck, dude. You know what I'm saying?
What did I just sign up for?
Yeah, I'm like, and I'd heard hella stories about the workhouse, you know what I'm saying? I'd never been there. So I'm like, fuck, dude, you know? So they call like fucking, we're all lined up. They call 4 names, and my name's the last one. Fuck, dude. Everyone busts out laughing. So I'm like, fuck it, dude. I grab my tote. I go in there. I'm like, man, I'm just going to drop my shit and get right to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's a problem, we're going to get it figured out. So when I walk in, they're kind of fucking with me a little bit or whatever. But it ended up being a cool tank for real. It ended up being a super cool tank. They was just fucking with me.
You walk in, is it like people like coming up to you at all, or?
Yeah, as soon as you get in the door, and the workhouse it's hit and miss, dude. You might hit a cool tank, you might have hit a tank, and you gotta fight, bro. As soon as you get in there, they might not even let you drop your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they might have somebody run up on you as soon as you get to the door. It just depends, for real.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm walking in or whatever, and I get over to the table. I sit my shit down. They're kind of fucking with me a little bit. They was like, you was scared, wasn't you? I'm like, man, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was a little scared. Like, I ain't never been here before, but I heard hella stories, and they was like, man, it's a cool-ass tank. They was like, you're good, bro. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, it was cool for real.
So the first night, go through that. I can only imagine that first night's got to be so brutal. Like, it sinks in. You're like 5 years, 6 years, however long you got, right?
So, at this time, I didn't really know, you know, I didn't know what was going on, but I know you get 10 days. If you don't get your indictment within 10 days of sitting in the county jail, then they have to let you go. So this whole time, I'm waiting on my indictment to come. I'm hoping on the 10th day, they bring it around. They bring it in. So I get my indictment, and they have me on like 4 different robbery charges. You know what I'm saying?
So this is after you got your 5 years, 6 years or whatever?
No. This is when I just get into the county jail or whatever. This is when this is just happening. So this is like my 10th day in jail. I get my indictment.
Back in the county jail.
Yeah, I'm in the county jail. I get my indictment. And it's all the robberies and shit from Columbus. And they got gun specs on them, and I'm adding them up. I'm like, dude, I got 14 years just in gun specs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm fucking over there going through it. And this older white dude that was in the tank, he kind of slept catty-cornered from me, and he was like, he seen me over there looking at it, going through it. He came over and sat with me and shit. He's like, man, I see that you ain't. He could tell that I was new to all this. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really done no time or whatever. And he was like, man, I know you're probably looking at that, losing your shit. My bad, dude.
You're good.
He was like, it's not that bad. He's like, they trump all them up, so just one of them sticks, you know? So he's trying to, I don't know, console me a little bit, make me feel a little bit better about the situation.
Damn, that's crazy. It seems like there's actually a lot of, I don't know, camaraderie.
There is to a certain point. There is. It really, like I said, dude, it really just depends on where you land and where you're at. And you could land in a cool tank and something like that, and it takes 1 or 2 people to come in, and it takes one young rowdy motherfucker to come in and hype a couple other motherfuckers up. Before you know it, there's some bullshit going on. So, and when you're in Franklin County, you're in the pod by yourself, bro. Like, there's no sheriffs or COs in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're in there with about 30 dudes by yourself. There's cameras in there and shit, but they don't give a fuck about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And most of them COs that work up there, they don't give a fuck, bro.
So how long are you in the Franklin County?
So I did all of 2018 in Franklin County. I got sent to CRC. It was a little after my birthday in November. So then November, I go to CRC. I'm at CRC for a month, and they send me to Noble, which was cool, bro. That was a sweet ass bid for real. Like, if you gotta do time, that's not a bad place to do time, bro. It's not.
So
not bad at
Noble
all.
was your favorite?
It's where I had it the sweetest, you know? Like, if you got to do time, like, I really had it was easy time, bro. Like, it's not bad at all. Like, when you hear, it's not what I envisioned prison being like before I got there. You know what I'm saying? I envisioned it being a lot different.
So where'd you spend the most time at?
Noble.
Noble.
I did 3 at Noble.
Yeah, so walk, like, the first night in Noble. Like, how's that go?
Okay, so again, I know that ended very abruptly, but the cameras did shut off at exactly 53 minutes into recording. So I got it stopped at him starting his first night in the actual prison. On the next section, we're actually going to go deep dive a little bit more into each step and clear some things up as far as how long he was in CRC and so on. So it's going to be a little bit cleaner of a timeline when he comes back, but this at least gives us a good kind of breakdown into the startup of what he did and how he got in there. And then there's a large section about getting tattooed in prison that's very wild coming in the next session. So, see you guys on the next one.